So I was coaching a new business owner one time, and for the sake of this story, we'll call him Alex. But Alex started an HVAC company. He had many years experience. He had taken some business classes. He saved up quite a bit of money, enough money to pay for a new truck, stock the truck, and had enough money rather to put into some digital marketing. So he was definitely headed in the right direction, and he got a hold of me after probably about the third month or fifth month in business, somewhere in there. And like everyone, I mean, at the beginning, Alex was gung-ho, man. Things were happening. He did work for a lot of family members. He did work for a lot of friends. But after that, he realized it was harder than he thought. And his dissatisfaction with business began to take a toll on his life, on his attitude, the way he thought. So he was constantly stressed. And the jobs he did, they ended up taking longer than normal because he was by himself at the time, and longer than he expected. So that started neglecting his personal relationships, and basically his own business, the work environment, became toxic. He no longer liked waking up in the morning. And despite the initial success he had, the big gung-ho kickoff, Alex's unhappiness affected his decision-making in his life, in his business, and the once innovative, dynamic business starter lost his creative edge. He was extremely motivated. He was extremely creative. He had all these ideas. Like me, he learned what not to do in business from working for other companies. And but he slowly became resistant to change. He dismissed valuable input from mentors and coaches. And I see this often. I really do. But then financial trouble slowly appeared because he just was basically so unhappy that he got all his ideas of running a business efficiently. It didn't happen, and he got behind on his bills, and he got behind paying his vendors, and they ended up putting him on COD, cash on delivery. And Alex's lack of happiness not only affected the business, but it took a major toll on his personal health. Constant stress eats at your body, eats at your health. It leads to burnout. It is impacting physical and mental well-being, and the spiral continued. He spiraled out of control downward, and Alex found an increasingly challenge to see a way out, and his unhappiness ended the little business that he founded. And he had so much promise for this business, but it eventually failed. The doors were closed, the trucks and equipment were sold, and Alex went back to work for his previous company. As he reflected on the journey later, he said he realized that the pursuit of success at the cost of happiness had been a costly mistake. And this happens every day, folks. This is not a one shot story. This happens every single day. And he learned later that his success must be tied to the well-being and the happiness of the leader, which is what we're going to talk about today. But building a thriving business involves not only sound strategies and hard work, but also fostering a positive and healthy attitude, and then eventually fostering a positive and healthy business culture. Now let's go. Hey, this is Greg McAfee, and welcome to the Greg McAfee Show. Now let's get started. Welcome back to the Greg McAfee Show, where we discuss steps to successful entrepreneurship, how to take your business to new heights, and ultimately follow your dreams. Today, we're going to be discussing something pretty simple, how to be a happier leader. Do you want to be a happier leader? Do you want to have happier followers? Well, then let's get started. Okay, so happiness, if you defined happiness, it is a complex and subjective emotion and often characterized by a sense of well-being, contentment, and joy. Now, I will say this, there's definitely a difference between happiness and joy. I mean, I have joy in my Christian walk, and that joy is permanent. It sticks. My joy is my joy. I'm not happy every day. There's things that make me unhappy every day. Now, I choose, it's my choice, but my joy sticks with me. It's here in my heart, and it's joy that I have for being alive and walking with Jesus and my Christian walk, my belief, my family, my business. I have joy. That's my joy. Now, things that happen every day and my choices are to be either happy or down, okay? I'd say sad, but I don't know, happy or down, okay? So happiness is a positive emotional state that can be influenced by various factors, both internal and external. And while the definition of happiness is different from person to person, several common elements are associated with this emotion. And I normally only have 3 to 5 points. Today I have 10, but I'm going to go through them relatively quickly so we can grasp this as leaders. Because if you want to be a happier leader, here's basically 10 things. If you're not writing these down or recording them, it's just good stuff to know. So, number one, happy leaders create a positive work environment. They foster a culture of collaboration and innovation, and this positivity can lead to increased employee satisfaction and productivity. So when you're a happy leader, you're just producing a positive work environment. And you know what the opposite of that is, right? I mean, let's face it. I can walk through this door and I have the power to make my team, whoever I'm working with that day, upset or positive, or I can encourage them, which will make them happier. I have that control as the leader. And so do you. So I want to portray myself as a happy leader to have a more positive work environment. It's a win-win-win for everybody. Me, my employees, and the company, okay? Number two, a happy leader enhances employee engagement, which is extremely important for us. And we're more likely to engage with employees more effectively, very, very important. Promoting open communication and feedback. Boy, I love feedback. I love open communication. I love feedback. And this engagement can lead to a more committed and motivated workforce. Now, who doesn't want that? And number three, it improves our decision making. Happiness is linked to better cognitive function and decision making. And happy leaders are more likely to make informed and rational decisions. And one of my sayings is informed people make better decisions. And if you're happier, you're communicating better, and you're having more information to be more informed, and you can make more rational decisions, contributing to the overall success of your business. Just makes sense. Number four, happy leaders tend to have an increased employee retention in their company. Employees are more likely to stay with a company led by someone who radiates positivity. I like that. And happy leaders tend to build stronger relationships with their team. They meet with them often. I mean, if you're not happy, first of all, if you're that unhappy, why are you doing what you do? I mean, go find something else to do. But if you're a happy leader, you have a better chance of having a reduced turnover rate and recruitment costs, which recruitment costs are extremely expensive. If you've never added yours up, add them up one time and just see what you're spending a year in recruitment costs and hiring the wrong people and then keeping them too long. Now, it depends on your size company, but it can be hundreds of thousands of dollars a year. And number 5, happiness is linked to innovative thinking, which is one of my favorite words. Innovation. It's one of my top 6 on the McAfee way. Innovation. So if you have innovative thinking, happiness is linked to increased creativity and innovative thinking, and happy leaders are more likely to encourage and embrace new ideas. I mean, there's nothing worse. I just met with a newer employee the other day. Say he wanted to meet with me. I have open door policy. It just has to get scheduled, and then we can meet. And he came in, a young guy, probably 21, 22 years old, trained him as a maintenance tech, getting ready to move into a service tech, but he had a whole list of ideas, which I'm all over that. I mean, I'm sitting there and I'm a sponge. I'm the leader. Here's this 21-year-old, basically kid, comes into my conference room, and he's giving us ideas on what he thinks we should do. Oh, I wish I had 50 of those. You know what I mean? The best ideas come from other people, right? But happy leaders are more likely to encourage and embrace new ideas. Now, if I just sat there and I looked at him and I said, Nick, what do you think you're doing? You don't run this place. How can you come up with ideas? Boy, how long would he stay with me, right? I said, Nick, first, thank you. Thank you for thinking. Thank you for thinking outside the box. Thank you for being brave enough and bold enough and caring enough to bring those ideas to me. And out of probably 10 ideas, I wrote down 3 we're going to implement right away. And there's another 3 that we're going to slowly, gradually do when we can. So, Nick, home run, brother, if you're listening to this. And I, like I said, I'll take 50 of those guys in my conference room all day long, and I'll listen. And it's driving innovation within a company is what makes a company grow, okay? So then, number 6 is better stress management. Happy leaders are better equipped to handle stress and challenges. Now, who doesn't want to handle stress better? Okay? Be happier. I'm going to talk here in a minute a little bit about how you can be a little bit happier, but, it's an inside thing. It really is. I know I talked about joy. Joy's in your heart. If you have a relationship with Jesus, joy's in your heart. You can't have joy without Jesus. I'm sorry. You can be happy temporarily without him, but you can't have true, consistent, stickable joy in your heart without him. And that's just a fact. You can argue with me about that, but I know what it's like to not have him, and I never had joy in my heart when I didn't have him. Okay? So, number 6 is better stress management. Happy leaders are better equipped to handle stress and challenges. Their positive mindset can inspire the team to approach difficulties and resilience, turning obstacles into opportunities. Bring me an obstacle, and I'll give you a way to turn it into an opportunity. I mean, that's in my blood. That's what I love to do. I have to be very careful as to groom and mentor younger leaders and management team that they come up with the idea, not me. So I have to be careful and ask first, give me a couple of your ideas, what you're going to do here before I shoot this shotgun and give you the answer, okay? Because it's easy for me to do. And but if you're training and mentoring leaders, you can't have all the answers unless they completely are out of answers, all right? And that's when you step in. But you got to let them think, and they enjoy that. They want to think. Thinkers make things happen, so they like to think. So, number 7, listen to this. It improves health and well-being. Happiness is associated with better health outcomes. When leaders prioritize their own well-being, they set a positive example for employees, promoting a healthy work-life balance. So, prioritize, very important. Prioritize their own well-being, very important. And they set a positive example for their team, very important. And that promotes a healthy work-life balance. Now, let me just give you a little example. I wasn't going to tell anybody I lost weight until I've lost 50 pounds, but I've lost 44 pounds so far since October 5th. Today is December 9th, and I've lost 44 pounds, okay? Now, what happens with 44 pounds? And I've lost it very healthy, in a healthy way. I haven't lost it too fast to where I'm going to gain it all back, because I've done that 100 times. I know what not to do. So what happens when my team notices Greg's losing a lot of weight? What's the question? Especially when you're overweight. The question is, how are you doing it? Okay? What's this say? It says when leaders prioritize their own well-being, they set a positive example for their team, promoting a healthy work-life balance. That can be taken a couple different ways, but I'm going to tell you this. I have a handful of people that really want to lose weight. And after I told them how to do it, or what I'm doing rather, how I'm doing it, boom. Now, if I would have went to them 44 pounds ago and said, hey, you guys need to lose weight, don't think I would have carried much weight there, would I? No pun intended. But once I start doing it and they see it, then they want it. Now they get motivated. Now they want it, right? Improved health and well-being starts with you, starts with me. Number 8, enhanced leadership skills. Woo! Happy leaders often exhibit stronger leadership skills than unhappy leaders. Again, I'm having a hard time with being an unhappy leader. I don't understand that concept. I do understand that we're not going to be happy all the time, because I know I'm not. I mean, there's things that happen in business every single day that, boy, you just want to throw your hands up. You just go, what in the world were we thinking, right? Not happy. I am not happy. I even say that sometimes. I'm not happy about this, okay? However, that doesn't mean I'm unhappy all day. I'm a happy leader. I don't like everything that happens all day, and I'm not happy about everything that happens all day. But overall, I'm a happy leader. And what that does is I exhibit enhanced leadership skills by encouraging people, offering better training, constantly training. We did a video years ago about just how many hours we spend training in a year, and it's unreal how many hours. Because I'm a firm believer in training and getting people trained right before they get in a truck. And by the way, folks, for us, that could take 6 months to a year before someone's allowed to get in their own truck. You know, I don't know, these like classes you go to that we're going to train someone how to run service in 3 days. You're nuts. You're not going to train my guys to do it in 3 days. You're not going to train my guys to do it in 5 days. It's a process. It's not a race. When they get in a truck, they're ready. They're confident. And then they make things happen. Okay? So these skills that we portray here, you know, the encouraging, the training, the communication, the conflict resolution, they contribute to a more harmonious workplace and effective team management. They just work well together. And also, number 9, a business led by a happy leader, a contented leader, a happy leader. Happy, if we remember, we defined happiness as a complex subjective emotion characterized by a sense of well-being and contentment. Okay, don't forget that word, contentment. Because when you're a content owner, that doesn't mean you're satisfied with everything, by the way. That doesn't mean you're wanting to grow more. That doesn't mean you're not wanting to grow more, but you're content. I've seen some business owners that are constantly changing things on people, and they're not content in their own life. And they have a lot of problems in their own personal life. So they're constantly coming up with new things, and they're constantly coming up not only with new things for their company, they're coming up with new things for themselves, and they're just never content. They're never happy. They look good on the outside, like they're doing all this stuff. It looks good, but deep down inside, they're discontented. They're not happy. So a business led by a happy, content owner is likely to develop a positive reputation, both internally, inside the company. That also equates to what? People staying longer retention. It's your community. It's on the outside. What do people know and say about your company? If you were to go take surveys, around, 20, 30 mile radius of your business location, what do people say about you? What are you known for? Is it positive? And when it is positive, when you do have a positive reputation, it can attract top talent for new employees, and it can also attract top customers and some of the best vendors. Let me tell you something, folks. There's all kinds of vendors. There's all kinds of companies. No matter what industry you're in, there's hack companies, and there's top of the line, high quality companies that work their way to number 1 companies. And then there's everything in between, right? Same way with vendors. Not every vendor's top notch. Not every vendor takes care of you. Not every vendor does everything right. So when you're positive, you're attracting top talent, top customers, and some of the best vendors. And that's what I want within McAfee. I want all that. We attract some of the best vendors. I take care of my vendors, and my vendors take care of me. And I like that. And then lastly, number 10, happy leaders increase adaptability, which means they're more adaptable to change. Oh, think about this. As I wrote this, I thought, wow, this is a whole class. Because when I see unhappy and discontented and negative leaders, I see lack of change. I see lack of how they approach challenges negatively. They don't inspire their team. They don't embrace change, and they don't navigate uncertainties with confidence. It's terrible. It's a terrible atmosphere. And it's contagious. A positive atmosphere is also contagious. I'd much rather spread that. Because let me tell you something, I'm human. I've been doing this 33 years. I've had some terrible days where I've spread negativity with my attitude or something I said wrong. I know how that is. I've had people quit right there on the spot and walk out. I caused it. If you're the leader, you cause most of your problems anyway, whether you want to admit it or not. You cause most of your problems. And you've got to once you realize that, step 1 to any step process, 10-step process, whatever, 12-step process, number 1 is realizing you have a problem. Once you realize you're the problem, then you fix it. And you continue to improve and you continue to get better. But increase adaptability. Boy, I want that. I want to be a happy leader that's more adaptable to change, and I want to approach my challenges with a positive mindset. And I want to inspire my team to not only do more, but to embrace change. I mean, let me tell you something. We're changing some things around here. We're bringing on a new division. We're bringing in a new company to help us, a group that's coming in to help us. That's change. And it takes a lot of work internally to make these things happen. And you folks know when you bring on a new division and you're in Service Titan, which we are, that takes a lot of work to get all that pricing in there and get all these systems in place, just like our standard departments run now. I mean, it's a lot of extra work. But basically, to run through these, if you're a happy leader, you're going to have a positive work environment. You're going to have an enhanced employee engagement. You're going to have improved decision-making among your entire company. You're going to have increased employee retention, and you're going to have innovative thinking for a change for some of you. And you're going to have better stress management. And you're going to have improved health and well-being. You're going to have enhanced leadership skills. You're going to have a positive company reputation. And you're going to have increased adaptability. Those are 10 things that'll help you as you help yourself be and portray a happier leader. Now, in summary, fostering happiness as a leader can have a profound impact on the overall success of your culture, sustainability of your business. In other words, you're going to be more successful. Happiness is a journey, folks, but it starts with you at the top as the leader. It's what's in your heart. It's what you desire. And it's what you want to share and spread and teach and coach. And it's essential to continuously checking it and adjusting your approach to leadership. And I'll tell you, regular self-reflection is very important for me. I ask myself often, I look in that mirror and I say, how am I doing? How am I doing? Because I know how I'm doing. Did I come across wrong to anybody? Do I look happy? I mean, one of my best friends said, if you're, he used to tell people, he was a speaker, he'd say, if you're happy, you better tell your face. You better look happy. I personally have a challenge sometimes speaking, even on this podcast, smiling more. Someone challenged me the other day. They said, you got a great smile. Smile more. I got to, I'm so serious sometimes and I get so passionate, I forget to smile. So I'm working on that. Again, I'm working on that. I'm constantly working on something. I'm working on smiling more. And I also believe in accountability, partner. Ask somebody ask somebody who's willing to tell you, be bold enough to tell you that you suck, or you need to smile more, or you need to do this more, or you need to do this less. Accountability partners will make you more successful. And they will help you in so many ways in life and in business, and help you be a more effective leader. Okay. So I hope this helps today. Some good stuff. But before we wrap up, if you're watching on YouTube, don't forget to like and subscribe. You can also support this podcast by rating and reviewing on iTunes or your preferred listening platform. Keep listening. I'll try to do my best to keep challenging you. Don't forget to like us, or follow us rather, on Instagram or Facebook at The Greg McAfee Show. No spaces, no underscores. Be sure to tune in next week. I've got a couple more interviews coming up, really good stuff I think you'll like. And as always, thanks for listening. Carry on. God bless. We're not promised tomorrow, so make it the best day possible.